buri wese abigize ibye twatsinda burundu akarengane na ruswa. U Rwanda ruzira ruswa n'akarengane mu cyerekezo 2050. Radio Imanzi 105.1 FM. Umutekano w'imibereho, iterambere ry'umuturage. Radio Imanzi 105.1 FM. Twese hamwe birashoboka. Ubujiji ni inzitizi ku iterambere. Buri mwana w'umunyarwanda agomba kwiga. Ubumenyi inzira y'iterambere. Radio Imanzi 105.1 FM.
We got you updated. This is Radio Imanzi News in English.
Good evening, dear listener. Thank you for tuning in. This is Radio Imanzi 105.1 FM, broadcasting from Kigali. Here are the news in English, brought to you by Alvin Umngadi. The headlines. President Paul Kagame has appointed Dr. François-Xavier Kalinda as a senator in Rwanda's upper chamber of parliament. Rwanda Investigation Bureau has transferred to prosecution the case file of former boss of the Association of Microfinance Institution in Rwanda, Amir Aimable Nkuranga, and his co-accused Eugene Bagire. The government of Rwanda secured 37 million euros, approximately 41 billion Rwandan francs, loan from the French Development Agency, AFD. Sudan has closed its border with the Central African Republic, citing security risks. Former President of Mauritania, Mohamed Ould Abdelaziz, who is being tried for suspected corruption, claimed on Thursday that he had been prohibited from leaving the country. We'll be back shortly with news in detail. Thank you. Welcome back. President Paul Kagame has appointed Dr. François-Xavier Kalinda as a senator in Rwanda's upper chamber of parliament. The appointment has been announced through a communique released by the Office of Prime Minister this Friday. Dr. Kalinda was born in Kitabi sector of Nyamagabe district. He holds a PhD in business law acquired from Ottawa University in Canada. He pursued undergraduate and master's courses at the National University of Rwanda. In 2015, Dr. Kalinda was elected to represent Rwanda in the East African Legislative Assembly, EALA, replacing parliamentarian Celestin Kabahizi, who had resigned. He once served as a lecturer and Dean of School of Law at University of Rwanda. Dr. Kalinda joins Rwanda's Senate, replacing Dr. Augustin Iyamuremye, the Senate President, who resigned recently on 8th December 2022, citing sickness reasons. Rwanda Investigation Bureau, RIB, has transferred to prosecution the case file of former boss of the Association of Microfinance Institutions in Rwanda, Amir Aimable Nkuranga, and his co-accused Eugene Bagire, who are facing several charges related to fraud and theft. According to Rwanda Investigation Bureau spokesperson Thierry Murangira, the suspects were apprehended separately at different times, on December 31st last year and on January 2nd, over use of deception operation in cryptocurrency business, BitSec. Murangira said they're accused of fraud, illegal operation of currency sale or exchange, and money laundering. He added the duo frequently used their YouTube channel to advertise what they call Real Wealth and Millionaires Mindset Club to entice the public to invest in cryptocurrency business. They risk a jail sentence of up to 10 years for money laundering, 3 years of fraud, and 2 years of illegal operation of currency sale or exchange. The charges also attract millions in damages. Murangira asked Rwandans to be careful and pay attention to all the persons who promise benefit while they intend to con their culprits. The government of Rwanda secured 36 million euros, approximately 41 billion Rwandan francs, loaned from the French Development Agency, AFD, on Thursday, January 5th, to transform more public services digitally and develop the country's drone industry. The related agreement is also complemented with 1.2 million euros grant to mobilize French expertise in project implementation. Providing quality services and customer care across public and private sector has been a priority as outlined under the economic transformation pillar of the National Strategy for Transformation, NST1, the medium-term national strategy from 2017 to 2024. Besides improving public services that are still hampering by old local computer networks at central and local administration levels, the loan will also help the country to tap into potential for using geospatial data, information recorded in conjunction with geographical indicators. After signing the deal, Uzziel Ndagijimana, the Minister of Finance and Economic Planning, said it will help in unlocking drone private sector development and supporting policy design, monitoring and evaluating across government. It will also support innovation and economic development based on geospatial and drone-generated database. The Minister indicated that the loan will be used to finance the construction of a drone operation center of excellence in Huye district. The old one will be a place to test new use cases for the industry, as well as the operationalization of a geospatial hub, GeoHub, centralized geospatial data infrastructure and services. A private company will manage the dock, while the Rwanda Space Agency will manage the GeoHub. Arthur Germont, AFD's director in Rwanda, said this was the agency's first financing to the digital sector of Rwanda. This project will help reduce the access gap between the capital and the rest of the country. It will also make the country more attractive and create economic opportunities in Huye district, thanks to the support of the drone industry. In Rwanda, drones are being used to deliver blood supplies, support precision agriculture, inspect power lines, conduct aerial mapping of land, and most recently in fighting mosquitoes. The government also partnered with a US-based global drone firm, Otarian, to establish its hub in the country with the objective of collaborating in rolling out services in areas such as freight and postal cargo, health, and humanitarian aid. Mozambican Minister for National Defense, Major General Christopher Arthur Chume, along with Army Commander of the Mozambican Armed Force, Major General Tiago Alberto Nampele, on Thursday, 5th January 2022, they visited Rwanda Security Forces, RSF, operating in Mokimboa de Praia, Cabo Delgado province. They are received by the RSF Joint Task Force Commander Major General Eugene Nkubito. The minister commended the significant improvement in the security situation in Cabo Delgado province. He further hailed the existence cooperation between the RSF, Mozambique Armed Force, and SAMIM, including a recent one dubbed Operation Volcano 4, which successfully dislodged remnants of Ansar al-Sunnah terrorist group in their new hideouts along Mesalo River in Muidumbe and Makomia districts. The minister, who previously served as Mozambique Army Commander during the initial counter-terrorism operation with RSF in July 2021, visited a number of former terrorist defensive positions, including Awase and Mokimboa de Praia commercial port. The Minister of Local Government, Jean-Claude Musabyimana, has urged 416 district administration security support organ named DASO officers to put citizen interests and security at the forefront of whatever they do in executing their duties. He was speaking during the graduation ceremony of the 416 DASO officers who completed a 9-week training program at Police Training School Gishari, Gwamagana District. Among them include 102 women and 314 men. Musabyimana reminded them that a security job requires one to go beyond their demand and put forward their benefit of the people as well as the country, thus asking them to partner with citizens and assist the local government in implementing different plans that aim at maintaining national security. The responsibility, the minister said, include ensuring that all school-aged children are in school, that problems of people are well solved, hence preventing injustice, corruption, and bad service provision. Musabyimana also asked the DASO officers to uphold good values such as integrity, discipline, and professionalism in their duties. Speaking during the graduation ceremony, CP Robert Nyanshuti, the commander of Police Training School Gishari, said that the 416 DASO officers who completed the training are part of the 6th cohort and are from 16 districts of Bugesera, Gakenke, Gasabo, Gatsibo, Gicumbi, Kamonyi, Karongi, Kayonza, Muhanga, Musanze, Ngoma, Nyagatare, Nyaruguru, Ruhango, Rulindo, and Rutsiro. He added that they were provided with different courses that will help them to fulfill their duties better, specifying that they will include using weapons, defensive tactics, as well as first aid, and help them to lead, conduct basic investigation, and share information. CP Nyanshuti urged the graduates to use the lessons they have acquired to enhance the patriotism and keep training to grow themselves as well as their security organ. Rwanda Food and Drugs Authority, FDA, has suspended from the local markets substandard herbal drugs that are said to increase the size of men's genitals. According to Rwanda FDA, the decision was taken after an inspection that was carried out in companies that manufacture, trade, and retail herbal drugs. The drugs include Dawa ya Kupanua Ume, said to be used in male enhancement. The suspended drugs also include one dubbed delay spray for men with 10 grams with vitamin E, also said to increase the size of men's genitals. There is also a drug called Ngetwa 3, with 130 grams that is said to be used in treating different diseases. The drug is manufactured by the Ngetwa company. In a statement issued by the FDA, said in addition to being substandard, these drugs have adverse effects on the users. It is in the context that activities to advertise these drugs are also suspended. They must stop selling these drugs and have to return the remaining one to their suppliers. The Food and Drug Regulator has requested the manufacturers, importers, wholesalers, as well as retailers of the herbal drugs that were suspended to immediately withdraw them from the market. The authority also urged wholesalers to receive the returned drugs from retailers and put them off the market, and must also submit a report to the FDA in 5 days showing the amount of every drug that was returned to their stores. We'll be back shortly with economic news.
Economic news is a regular feature on Radio Imanzi.
The trading session recorded a total turnover of 62,940,000 Rwandan francs worth of bonds traded in one deal on the fixed income market, and 54,200 Rwandan francs from 200 Bank of Kigali shares traded in one deal on the equities market. Equities counters closed as follows: Bralirwa at 170 Rwandan francs, Bank of Kigali at 271 Rwandan francs, I&M Rwanda at 43 Rwandan francs, Simerwa at 120 Rwandan francs, MTN Rwanda at 175 Rwandan francs, Equity at 440 Rwandan francs, Kenya Commercial Bank at 328 Rwandan francs, National Media Group at 1,200 Rwandan francs, Uchumi Supermarket Limited at 104 Rwandan francs, and R&H Buffalo at 526 Rwandan francs. The exchange rate today, the United States dollar was buying 1,062 and was selling 1,083 rand and francs. The British pound was buying 1,264 and was selling 1,290 rand and francs. The euro was buying 1,117 and was selling 1,139 rand and francs. The Kenyan shilling was buying 8.5 and was selling 8.7 rand and francs. The Tanzanian shilling was buying 0.45 and was selling 0.46 rand and francs. The Ugandan shilling was buying 0.28 rand and francs and was selling 0.29 rand and francs. The Burundian francs was buying 0.51 and was selling 0.52 rand and francs. We'll be back shortly with international news.
Some items of international news on Radio Imanzi.
Sudan has closed its border with the Central African Republic, citing security reasons. The announcement was made on Thursday by Sudan's junta Vice President Mohamed Hamdan Dagalo, the leader of the Rapid Support Forces, RSF, a paramilitary unit that is being accused of involvement in a scheme to overthrow the Central African Republic government. The allegations emerged after the signing of a peace deal between ethnic groups in Sudan's troubled Darfur region. Mr. Dagalo said he would ignore attempts to demonize the Rapid Support Forces and blamed unnamed people for trying to stir up problems between Sudan and the Central African Republic. Therefore, we close the border to ward off sedition and preserve good neighborhoodness. The Sovereign Council VP noted that there have been efforts to sow discord between the two countries, with some outlawed groups donning Rapid Support Forces uniforms so as to achieve their agenda. Former President of Mauritania, Mohamed Ould Abdelaziz, who is being tried for suspected corruption, claimed on Thursday that he had been prohibited from leaving the country. Using his Facebook, he said he went to the airport to travel on Wednesday, but was prevented from doing so by the political police, which said it had received instructions. He added that the police acted even though I'm not subject to any judicial controls or any other measure that may forbid me to travel. Abdelaziz, who came to power in a coup in 2008, stepped down in 2019 after 2 presidential terms and was succeeded by a former General Mohamed Ould Ghazouani. He and 11 other figures from his former regime have been charged for suspected corruption, money laundering, and illicit enrichment dating from the time when he was in power. Their trial is due to start on January 25th, according to a judicial source. A senior gendarmerie official, speaking on condition of anonymity, said Abdelaziz's passport was also confiscated on Wednesday. Government spokesman Nani Oud earlier Wednesday told reporters that Abdelaziz's behavior aimed to influence the case against him. The inquiry into Abdelaziz began shortly after he left office, starting with a parliamentary investigation launched in August 2020. He was charged in March 2021 and placed in custody 3 months later after allegedly breaching bail and disturbing public order, but was released in January 2022 for health reasons. Fellow defendants in the case include one of his son-in-law, 2 former prime ministers, and several ex-ministers and businessmen. Abdelaziz said he is the victim of score settling by rivals. He argues that he has immunity for prosecution under the constitution. An Eritrean national described as one of the world's most wanted human traffickers has been arrested in Sudan after an international manhunt led by the United Arab Emirates, Interpol announced on Thursday. The suspected, identified as Kidan Zakaria, is accused of leading a criminal organization that abducts, extorts, and murders East African migrants trying to cross the Mediterranean Sea from Libya, the France-based police agency said in an online statement. A statement from the United Arab Emirates Ministry of Environment said he was arrested on Sunday in a major international police operation led by the United Arab Emirates based on information shared via Interpol. The agency said a breakthrough in the manhunt came after United Arab Emirates authorities began closely tracking Zakaria's organization and members of his family, uncovering money laundering patterns that led them to Sudan. Interpol first began monitoring Zakaria's activities in 2019. Mr. Kidan had been the subject of 2 Interpol red notices, one from Ethiopia and the other one from the Netherlands. Dutch authorities accused him of running a camp in Libya that housed thousands of migrants. Zakaria was convicted in absentia and sentenced to life imprisonment after escaping from custody in Ethiopia while on trial on people smuggling charges in 2020. A daughter of an assistant minister is among victims of motorcycle accident, as police say 4 out of 5 accidents registered in a day involve bodabodas, commonly known as motorcycles, in Uganda's capital city, Kampala. A few minutes past 8 p.m. on a Friday evening in the month of October, a Uganda minister's daughter was riding on a boda returning from a farewell party organized for her by friends after scooping a study place at the university in Massachusetts in the U.S. when the cyclist rammed into a lorry a few meters from the minister's home in the upscale suburb of Nhinda in Kampala. Belinda Birungi, aged 23, died hours later. Her death resurrected the debate on whether the country can manage the lawless, rowdy and energetic young men running a big percentage of the transport industry using their motorcycles. Uganda Parliament Speaker Anita Among immediately ordered the Deputy Inspector of Police, Major General Geoffrey Tumusime, to tame boda riders. During a meeting with Major General Geoffrey, Ms. Among said, "We face a crisis, especially on Kampala roads, as a result of reckless boda riders. We must address it forthwith. You need to take critical steps to reverse the devastating trend and save lives on our roads." She was joined by other senior government officials in condemning the recklessness of the riders. And that brings us to the end of today's program. Let us look at the headlines once more. President Paul Kagame has appointed Dr. François-Xavier Kalinda as the senator in Rwanda's upper chamber of parliament. Rwanda Investigation Bureau has transferred to prosecution the case file of former boss of the Association of Microfinance Institutions in Rwanda, Amir Aimable Nkuranga, and his co-accused Eugene Bagire. The government of Rwanda secured 37 million euros, approximately 41 billion Rwandan francs, loaned from the French Development Agency, AFD. Sudan has closed its border with the Central African Republic, citing security risks. Former President of Mauritania, Mohamed Ould Abdelaziz, who is being tried for suspected corruption, claimed on Thursday that he had been prohibited from leaving the country. This was Alvin Omngali. Thank you for staying with me. And on behalf of Radio Imanzi, we wish you a wonderful year of 2023. Stay safe, stay tuned, and have a wonderful night.